the opportunity to speak today. It's a pleasure as always. I'm speaking on behalf of 35 civil society organizations from around the world, and their names will be provided in the full statement online. Inequalities are not an inevitable outcome of development. This we know. We know that progress under the MDGs often masks growing inequalities between different groups, including widening gaps in wealth and income. Indeed, the MDGs left millions of people, including children, behind. The pledge that we will leave no one behind does provide us with some hope that we will not allow history to repeat itself. But to better put the principle into practice, and picking up on your request for distinct language, we make the following recommendations. First, given the very pervasive nature of gender inequality and its consequences for half of the world's population, many of us in this very room, achieving greater gender equality must be strengthened throughout the Zero Draft. Second, we think that the declaration must prioritize action and ending poverty in all of its forms for the most marginalized groups. We recommend that paragraph 4 include a reference to, and I quote, reaching the furthest behind first, end quote. And we note that this was called for by Benin on behalf of the LDCs, Canada, and Palau on Monday, so it is something that enjoys some support from member states. Third, we urge you as co-facilitators to strengthen the language on meeting goals and targets in paragraph 4 to state, and I quote, we affirm that all goals and targets will only be fully achieved when they are met for all economic and social groupings. We think all progress should be recognized and commended, certainly, but true success should only be measured by what we achieve for all and not just for some. Fourth, and a number of my fellow civil society colleagues have made this point, the agenda must ensure human rights and fundamental freedoms for all without discrimination on any ground. We do note with concern that age is missing as one of the lists in both paragraph 17 and 22 as a fundamental ground, and this has been recognized by Japan, Sweden, and El Salvador, among others. This must be corrected in the Zero Draft. We are all of a certain age, and we are all aging, some of us more than others. Fifth, economic growth does not, unfortunately, by itself, eradicate poverty or reduce inequalities. In paragraph 24, we recommend adding, after the phrase, sustained and inclusive economic growth is essential for prosperity, the phrase, but only if wealth is shared through progressive policies aimed at redistribution, end quote. In the goals and targets chapter, and we're not asking to change targets, so you'll be pleased. At the end of paragraph 2, we do propose adding the following phrase. We encourage member states to set national interim or midterm targets across all goals in order to accelerate progress for disadvantaged groups and to ensure that all goals are on track to be achieved by 2030. This is about not leaving the hardest work for last. Finally, it goes without saying that an agenda that seeks to leave no one behind must monitor progress for those that are the furthest behind. We strongly recommend the addition of a key principle in paragraph 3 of the follow-up and review chapter that would state, quote, they will focus on the progress of the social and economic groups that are the furthest behind and monitor inequalities within and between countries, end quote. Leaving no one behind can be the legacy of the post-2015 development agenda, but we must ensure that it is. Thank you.